All right, 3, 2, 1. We are live tonight.
Here we are.
Can you believe it? The first talk of 2019. Hard to believe. I hope you're having a great year already. Can you believe it? It's well on its way. Was it second day? Third day. Oh my goodness. We have had so much going on already. It's going to be an epic year. I know. We just wanted to stop in here quick tonight. We're still recovering from all our holiday festivities and recovering. I've got a little tickle in my throat I'm still trying to overcome, so I'm prepared. I got my little cough drops here, thieves cough drops.
Nothing but the best.
Yep, and then of course my water, so I'll try to keep it down over here. But we were just so eager to get on and kind of give an update on how our holiday or Christmas and New Year's went, and then some of the cool things that have been happening already this year.
You're really excited.
It's awesome. I was on a little day trip today. Not going to tell you where or anything yet. That information's coming, and then our family's going on a little trip this weekend, a last-minute trip, and we'll kind of do a little
business trips.
Yeah, a little update on what that's all about. And then I'm going out of town again next weekend. It's like already, and this is just the first week. So, anyways, it's going to be a hold on to your hat for the ride kind of year, I'm afraid.
It's going to be good.
But so we're in Omaha, Nebraska for Christmas, and so that was a great time with family and had a great time out there. Lots of partying and lots of family, and so that's why we're paying for it now, kind of recovering. But
too much party.
Yeah. So, anyways, as of course this time of year everyone does, we're all trying to think about last year and think about this year and see what kind of goals and what kind of changes we need to make, what kind of adjustments we need to make. So I'm very grateful that we have new or time frames that we can actually have a fresh start. Mm-hmm. It's good to have some times, you can always do it, and it's good to always stop and do it, but just the way, thankfully we have weeks and years and days and times that kind of that make it very convenient and kind of remind you that, hey, we need to stop and take some time to regroup and make some tweaks, make some changes. We had an epic 2018. Mm-hmm. So much happened. It's hard to believe it all happened in 1 year. Mm-hmm. But, we want to keep that momentum going and keep growing on what we've been learning and implementing, the mindsets stuff. And of course, just really trying to develop, and follow God's plan for our life and the purpose that He's created us. And that's what we're real excited about. Mm-hmm. So what we mainly just want to kind of get going for this new year for you all, and have you all be kind of joining us as we begin the journey of 2019, is to be thinking about, what is the theme or what's the focus? Hey, Job.
Hello.
Good to see you. Hope you're doing well out there. How about what is the theme and focus for, our attention, our life, and what we're going to be working on? That's one of the things that this last year I noticed or realized is that, I have a tendency to look at too many things at once and to focus on so many things, or try to look at so many things, that I don't really focus on anything in particular. And so when you don't focus on anything in particular, then it's hard to remember anything in particular. And that's kind of the thing that we're kind of trying to take care of or deal with this year. As those of you that kind of follow our podcast, video lives, whatever they are, our videos, that we always have a word for the year. And that last year our word was intentional. And it's fascinating as we've taken that word intentional and applied it to every area of our life and kind of really looked and see, why are we doing things? What are we doing? Are we just doing it because that's what everyone else does? Or have we actually thought through what we're doing? It's amazing, the changes that we made by thinking, we need to do something different because it's not having the result that we want to have. Mm-hmm. There have been multiple areas that it seems like we just go along like everyone else and nothing ever happens, nothing ever changes. Mm-hmm. Any
really
area in
fun.
particular for
Sometimes you don't even realize, as you are being intentional, is this really making a difference? Or, some of the habits that we formed this year. Mm-hmm. And I think, for instance, a couple of the things, like when Justin started working with his coach, he would tell us some very basic things, some good habits to get into, and you'd think, well, what difference does this make in my life? It's just one little something. and the compounding effect and slight edge and all of those. And then it was fun to look back now as we were intentional this year and to see it really did make a difference and how much our mindset has changed, and good marriage and children are growing, and
and like our real estate business, it's grown crazy, all the way to doing a large multifamily property and doing a syndication and raising large sums of money for funding that.
Which last year was just a dream. Like that wasn't even.
We talked about it, but never really
we would want to someday,
thought that we'd actually have something or do it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're excited to keep growing and building on. And in fact, that was what my trip today was all about. Was I was out looking at another large 142 unit property, with a couple other investor friends, and trying to see if it's a good deal, run the numbers, and we looked at a couple of others, and then this weekend we're going to look at another mini storage facility property. So we're real excited about that. Just already it's like the third day, and we've been looking and reviewing at over 4 or 5 properties already, and so something's going to happen. If anybody wants to join our investor team, we'd love to have you come join us. Message us or send us an email or whatever, and we'll be able to give you, schedule a conference call, as well as give you one of our applications so you can fill it out and be ready. Because when these deals come along, we've got to be able to have our ducks in a row and jump on them and move on them. And our deal we got last year is going great. It was 6 buildings, 90 units, and we've already got the roofs on all the buildings and gutters done and asphalt repair and some of the vacant units ready to rent. So it's like rocking and rolling. We got a great team working on that one, so we're real excited. Appreciate all the investors that are part of that one, and so we're real excited. But being intentional, and the word intentional, of course, is going to be a lifetime journey. It's something we're going to nonstop. We haven't arrived. We're not there yet.
Right.
We're excited. We made some good strides.
We picked a new word for this
but
year.
We have a new word that we're
intentional stays. We're adding it to intentional.
Because as we titled this talk about, what is the most important message that you could hear, can you guess what that message is? Any comments out there? Hey, MA, how you doing?
Hello.
Sorry we didn't get to see you out there in Omaha when we were there. Hope you had a good Christmas. And Kim, good to see you here with us tonight. Think what would be the most important message? Now, of course, all my Christian friends out there, we know that God's word and message is the ultimate message. But other than God's word and God's message, what else would you think would be the most important message that you could hear and grasp and then share with others? All right.
Music or something.
Yeah, drum roll. All right, well, your message. You thought about that? Your message. And so that's our word for our family for this year is message. We want to take this time this year to kind of really develop our message and be able to have it ready to share, to be able to have it ready to be a part of what drives us and motivates us, and really find what our unique, special messages to the world. Because each one of us is created with a special message that only you can give. It comes from the life that only you can live. And all the experiences you go through, that you've gone through so far, are all a big part of developing that message. And everything you go through you're going through it because it's an important part of your message still to come. So, I'm excited to take some time. And as I thought about that word message, that's a word with lots of facets, lots of areas. And it's going to be a fascinating meditation and thought. And so, we're excited to have you along for our journey as we develop ours. And I encourage you all to be thinking about, what's your message do you have to the world? Because that's ultimately what's going to help you as you do your business, as you have relationships, your family. It's ultimately, what you need to mix in that's going to motivate you, that's going to be the inspiring, basically to drive your purpose, your purpose. And it's the kind of thing where, as you take time to prepare and to clarify your message, then, you're going to be ready when opportunity arises. When someone says, hey, what's going on in your life? It's not just like, we're doing fine, or, what's going on? Nothing. Or, how you doing? Good. That's what average people do. That's what everyone does. Because they haven't stopped to think about really what's going on and when someone asks you a question like that, every time someone asks you a question, it's an opportunity for you to take advantage. That's like an invitation for them to hear, for you to plant a seed, for you to input some truth, for you to be able to contribute into their life. And so having a ready answer is so important. Otherwise, you're going to waste that moment, that opportunity.
Yep.
There have been so many times that I've been given a chance to speak or do something, and I've either blown it, made a fool of myself, because I was like, and where if I would have taken the time to prepare and have my life message to where someone says, hey, you want to give a little word? Say, yeah, and you're ready. You can use the moment to really inspire and to communicate and to really inspire, benefit other people. It'll help build your confidence for one, but, also it's going to help you be able to clarify your focus and your vision too, and be able to really start viewing the experiences that you go through in different ways, because you're going to start viewing it as, okay, so now what am I learning, or why am I going through this? How does this fit in with where I see I've come from already? And you'll start seeing your life experiences from a different perspective as something that's developing you into who you are and what your message, and even to embellish and continue and to grow your message into a greater and greater encouragement to other people. And so, just a couple of things that we've thought of, aspects of message. I started writing down all the different aspects I could think of. Is number one, a message needs to have content. So, I'm excited to go back and use it, and use family gatherings and times to hear from them what they think of or remember of me and our family and our life and experiences we've done together, and start taking notes of the things that I just have forgotten, the details that kind of make a story significant, and start compiling that and remembering that, and trying to be able to look back and develop the stories that we've forgotten. And so that'd be cool to develop content. And then
which is really an important part of life. I feel like sometimes in our fast-paced world, and as entrepreneurs and everything, you're always on to the next thing and bigger and better and moving on, and just to stop and reflect. It was fun to even stop and reflect on 2018 and just solidify it in our mind and everything else. So yeah, it's a big part of.
And that's one of my biggest
message.
frustrations. I feel like that, I've gone through a lot of life experiences, a ton. But I don't remember very much detail, because I never really have taken the time to stop, either document or to really focus on the details and really appreciate the experience. It's almost like you're so much into just getting through it and getting done, moving on to the next thing, that you pass on so much of your life.
Right.
And
what did we learn from this? And
instead of really experiencing and enjoying, and then even the bad experiences, looking at them with new light and new eyes, where you can give them a new meaning.
Right.
And actually learn from it, because if you don't learn from the tests or mistakes or things you go through, then you're bound to repeat it and go through it again. So that's another inspiring
and even
thought.
some of the negative things that have happened in our life, and if you don't have the right perspective and the right mindset, and think back and see the positive that happened through it, you can just be the victim, and it can be a horrible memory, and it can drag you down. And where if you stopped and, okay, yes, acknowledge, this happened, but this is what it led to. This is what I learned from it. These are other opportunities that opened up because of this failure or this bad thing, or, whatever. So even the negative, I feel like, can be a completely different message as we go back and look at it and almost rewrite it.
Well, that's the thing. When you're right in the middle of an experience, a lot of times it's hard to see the positive out of it, right? But if you can take some time to stop and look back, hindsight's 20/20, you can look at it, and you can take an experience that just had left an engraving image in your mind of something that's awful, terrible. But if you look back on it and kind of see where you've come from it, and see how it's helped you get to where you are now, you can rewrite that, like she said.
Exactly.
And it can turn that into a positive experience, or something that you can grasp or appreciate as beneficial to, causing you to either make the decisions you did, or to stop you, or to make you stop and think about your life.
Exactly.
So it takes content. Excuse me. And so, of course, when you have content, though, another aspect is you got to learn ways to organize that content to remember it. So that's something I'm working on. Need to also learn to notice and document your experiences and lessons. So that's something we're going to be working on. Taking note of the details and marking them and figuring out a way that works for you. Each of us kind of find our own way that we can have a quick glance look and be able to use stories from our life and stuff. So, and we'll try to share some little things we learn along the way. This is our journey. It's a process for us. Not saying we've arrived at all. That's why we're making this a focus.
Right.
It's kind of like, if you got a weakness and you got areas you need to work on, why not just take it front and center and face it head on? And that's what we try to do when we do a SWOT analysis on our life, which is where you find out your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And the goal is to turn all your weaknesses into strengths, and to be prepared to take advantage of your opportunities, and to keep yourself prepared to not have to go through the threats or be affected by the threats. So also, you need to learn the different ways of delivering your message. There's multiple ways that we deliver our message. Mm-hmm. We're like a walking billboard. And just the way you look, the dress, who you hang with, that's one thing, walking. But also, there's all different ways. Like this Facebook Live is one way. There's YouTube. There's books. There's text. There's letters. There's all different ways of getting your message out. And so looking at what's the most effective way, or how you can put all of them into practice to maximize.
Even meeting somebody and you have a quick 2 seconds.
Exactly. What kind of message do you have ready for the person in the grocery store?
Yeah.
Or when you're at a networking meeting?
Those are all
or when you're at church? Pre-thinking messages so that you can maximize the moments, because otherwise you're just wasting life. So different messages, different ways of delivering it. Learning to be clear and concise in your message. So that's obviously something you need to work on. We're working on. And then to be aware of our audience. It's important to know who your audience is. Mm-hmm. And the importance of needing to know who your audience is you want to be aware of what's their message, or what are they interested in, what are they trying to get across, what are they representing. So you can try to combine your messages, or try to give your message in such a way to where it connects with them. Mm-hmm. And
well, it's just helpful for them.
So you can communicate.
I
mean, if there's a Spanish-speaking person and I was talking to, and I'm trying to speak in English, and they don't understand squat, how good is that message going to be? But if I can realize, hey, that doesn't sound like English, I better figure out what it is and get an interpreter or something, and then get my message. It does help be observant here. Yeah. I have some of my employees that speak a little different, and I have to remember that sometimes. Say, okay, no savvy, right? No comprehendi? Okay. So it makes it challenging. So you need to be aware of your audience and what their message is, and what will they receive. And then also need to be able to combine our message. Well, the next one is like what you said. Combine our message to the message of our audience. So try to, find, common ground that you can kind of get on the same page. Mm-hmm. And then know the best way of delivering our message. What is appropriate in different ways, different times. When's it appropriate to have just a quick little word, when you need something longer. So that, and then need to know what supports or takes away from our message. And so, if you say one thing, but then you live and do something totally different, then are you contradicting your message? Are you people are going to take you serious? And so, if I say that I'm, a huge workout fan and into weightlifting, but I never go to the gym, then is that supporting my message? Or if I'm telling people that I'm going to be fit and go to the gym, be strong, have good posture, and all this stuff, and I'm actually going to the gym and doing it and kicking it, then that's going to support my message. People are going to say, oh yeah, he's serious about that, And so, making sure that we're living and acting and dressing and all kind of whatever it is in a way that actually supports our message. Mm-hmm. We don't contradict ourselves in the way we live. Mm-hmm. So anyways, there's a lot more thoughts. That's just 3 days of meditation on this word message. So I can't hardly imagine what's going to happen. So, what word are you focusing on? What's your theme? What's your topic? Because if you don't pick one focus at a time and really zero in on it, then you're not going to ever really develop a clear, concise message. Because there's too many things to focus on. If you try to focus on too many things at one time, then you're never going to become sharp, clear, and concise. And so that's our goal, and we would challenge you the same thing. Your word doesn't have to be message, whatever it is, but get you a theme and a focus. And I would encourage you to pick a focus that is an area of challenge or an area you're afraid of, and face it head on. Mm-hmm. And just go for it. This is your moment. This is a new year, new start, and all the real New Year's resolution type people have already done their thing and they're done. This is the third day, so they started the first day, barely did it the second day, and the third day we'll try it next year. So, if you're still doing something, then...
We might have done it today. We'll see.
Maybe the third day is a charm. We'll see if they make it past today. But
Hey,
Anyways,
Catherine, good to see you.
and hey, Corbin, good to see you too, man. And so, anyways, we just wanted to hop on here tonight and just kind of let you know what's happening. And with us, we're excited. Had a crazy year, a start to the year and end of last year, and trying to go over some colds and just keep up with everything. And so we look forward to continuing to network and interact with you all and to watch what happens, what God does in your life as each of you continue to live out your message, your plan, His plan for you. And excited to have you part of our journey as we continue to try to be as clear and concise and focused and continue. That's a big part of being intentional too.
Right.
You know, so it's like it is part of the
It is.
facet.
Just, yeah. They go together well. So
Any
we'd
final
love to hear
thoughts?
some of your messages and, yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah.
Or if you have a word for the year.
Yeah, let us know.
I
Put it in the
would love to
comments
hear
down there. You know, what's
what
your
your
word?
word
What's your
for the year.
focus? Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's just a little snippet. We'll let you go. We got more things to take care of here tonight. Get ready for the rest of the end of the week. I'm all thrown off. I don't know what day it is. It's just like, good grief. But it's been a good time. So appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night, and we will see you next week.
Good night.
Good night.